I don't think the video loaded that good, but listen, I told everybody I had gotten into a dilemma. I need some help. The preacher needs some help. I need some help with these bills. Be willing to plant a seed into me. But you can call me on my phone if you have any questions. Because I don't got tired, because they when they load. So we're going to talk about, who I do? Oh, that paper over there. We're going to talk about, let's go to the scripture and go there. Yeah, if you have any questions, call me on my cell phone. 678-651-3858. 44980-203623. 4CMO 487-784. And let's go to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1-3. Surely obey your parent in the Lord, for this is right under their father and mother, which is the first commandment, which is promise, that it may be well with them and they may live alone on this earth. The title of this message, we just gonna do this real fast. The title of this message, surely obey your parent. Because I don't think it load. We'll get the rest of them in the morning. Okay. And we gonna get ready to get out of here. Okay, then we gotta do it. Children as for children, obeying your parents, the Lord, because it is right. The commandment honor your father and mother is the first commandment with a promise attached, so that things will go well for you and yours will live a long time in the Lord. 25 verse about parents. Number 1, those who follow the Christian faith and begin a child of God, but become a parent yourself is a proper moment that mark a shift to your life. You never care so much conditional love for your child or children, but you are also now responsible for promoting a non-brain that spoil their emotions, merely and spirit devotion. Children are blessing from God. Children are blessing from God, and so is being a parent. But that doesn't mean that never is easy.
I found it.
Okay. Without any burden, these Bible verses about children and parents not only provide God, but also remind you that God will protect them as prudent as you do. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 6. John chapter 3, verse 1-4. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Psalm chapter 139, verse 15 and 16. Galatians chapter 3, verse 21. And Isaiah chapter 49, verse 15 and 16. Job chapter 2, verse 28. John chapter 16, verse 21. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 9. Matthew chapter 18, verse 20. Psalm chapter 128, verse 3. Psalm chapter 8, verse 2. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 24. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 13. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. Matthew chapter 18, verse 2-4. And Peter 1, chapter 2, verse 23. Explain Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1. What is the main idea of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 23? Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1-4. Instructing child to obey their parents and for parents to obey character and how they raise their child. Children who learn respect for property of their right will have a better chance at success in life and obedience to parents in the normal right way to behave. What is the main message of Ephesians chapter 6? Here is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1-4. The faith force is how Christian transfer the child-parent relationship. The present flow out of the comment in chapter 5, verse 18. To be filled with the Spirit, be filled with the Spirit, mean we ought to live as Christians, that our Christian children have an pattern on relationship. What did the apostle mean by obeying in the Lord? First, they are to obey in the Lord. This means that the obedience is part of the Christian obedience in civil ways, and to a wife or man to submit to her husband as to the Lord. Ephesians chapter 6, 5, verse 22. The scary reason it becomes a simple right for a child to obey their parents. Okay, y'all read that. I'm going to just read a couple of these scriptures. Oh, messed up. They read a couple of scriptures about traveling the grace if I can find it. If not, we finna get ready to get out of here. Because the video messed up on me. But they read something about the new year. Right, let me see. We're going to read something about traveling the grace. About traveling the grace, and we're going to get out of here. I lost it again. I'm thinking. Well, they read something about the new year. I had traveling the grace. Let me see. They read something. Here it is right here. Then read something about traveling the grace, and then we're going to get out of here, okay? Okay, then we're going to get out of here. I hope y'all heard my prayer, cause the video messed up. 100 Bible verses about traveling the grace. John chapter 14, verse 31. Luke chapter 4, verse 18. John chapter 17, verse 15. Matthew chapter 18, verse 23 to 24. John chapter 1, verse 21. Mark chapter 1, verse 35. Hebrew chapter 6, verse 18. Acts chapter 17, verse 24. John chapter 5, verse 20. Luke chapter 11, verse 1 to 4. Luke chapter 5, verse 16. Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 23. Psalm chapter 12, verse 1 8. Romans chapter 8, verse 34. James chapter 4, verse 13 and 17. Luke chapter 9, verse 28. And John chapter 7, verse 28. Luke chapter 10, verse 16. Matthew chapter 26, verse 42 to 44. We finna get ready to get out of here. We don't cover a whole lot. Isaiah chapter 42, verse 8. Timothy 2, chapter 4, verse 10 to 13. Corinthians 1, chapter 14, verse 32. John chapter 8, verse 28. John chapter 4, verse 22, 23 to 24. John chapter 4, verse 19. Luke chapter 13, verse 22. Luke chapter 1, verse 17. Mark chapter 13, verse 32. Matthew chapter 21, verse 12. And Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 9. Psalm chapter 45, verse 7. Psalm chapter 2, verse 7. And Acts chapter 2, verse 22. I don't know what happened to the video. Y'all messed up with that. But I think Sister Amara was on there, but I don't know what happened. So we're going to re-preach all this tomorrow. But I just went over traveling the grace, and we went over children obey your parents. So we're going to re-preach it tomorrow. Let me get ready to get out of here. Don't hold it against me. I made a couple mistakes. Don't hold nothing against the preacher. See y'all in the morning. May God bless y'all, man.